Be Better, episode 22. Solo. Jacob just got back from South Sudan. He's doing some stuff with the basketball league out there. He just got home last night, so figured I'd give him a break, let him sleep in, and I'll knock this one out Friday morning. We're brought to you by SubZeroPlunge.com. Code BeBetter gets you $250 off. If you guys follow me on Instagram, you guys know that I recently got one of the tubs. I do it 11 to 12 minutes a week total, anywhere from 2 to 5 minute sessions. Sometimes it's just like a quick pick me up from work. I'll hop in, get 2 minutes in, feel better, get some energy, and it's something I don't want to do, so it feels good checking that off on the days that I do it. I'd like to maybe start doing that, get in the habit of just doing it first thing in the morning, and then maybe I'll do it again in the afternoon. But in the afternoon, I really enjoy that kind of that pick me up boost of energy you get, because you get like all that blood rush comes back. Yesterday I did it. It was hot, so that it's like it's easier when it's warm because it's humid here. Went home, did it. Felt awesome. Didn't worked out real quick. Didn't need a pre-workout. The cold plunge was enough for pre-workout for me. So if you're interested in buying one, SubZeroPlunge.com. Code BeBetter gets you $250 off, and he is running another sale on them now, so you can combine them both and get yourself a tub. If you don't want to pay for it all at once, you can do payment plans. So something you're interested in. If you're into cold plunging, into doing uncomfortable things, please support them because they support us. I just want to hop on here real quick, talk about a few things that's just been on my mind that I like to get off my chest. So I'm starting a mentorship program. I've been doing it already for about 3 weeks now with a client that I already have through Be Better Coaching. He's a powerlifting client of mine, and then a client, Lauren, who was on this show probably 10 episodes ago, who runs a dog business. So with the mentorship, what I've been doing is when I open this up to people, it's going to be like 5 questions on a questionnaire, just to kind of get to know you, get to know what the problems you have are. Because my favorite thing to do is solving problems, right? If I can find a way to fix something with my hands, like that's why I'm a lineman, because I like fixing stuff with my hands, so I really enjoy my job. Especially when people are out of power, I show up, I fix them, they get on power. Typically, people are happy. Sometimes they're still mad, but that's neither here nor there. So if I could solve people's problems, and I've been doing it in the gym, right? I've been able to help people train, get stronger. You know, their problem, they want to be stronger. They want to just be more fit. I'm able to help them with that problem. So now I want to try to take it outside the gym, because that's what I've been in my journey lately is being better at being more in control of things, control emotions, showing vulnerability, being more empathetic. All the things that I thought were stupid about 5 years ago, I'm learning they can be very valuable tools in my toolbox, as my therapist Val says. So the whole purpose of the mentorship is just to give you knowledge and give you a different perspective. Sometimes it's a listening perspective, right? Because some people, honestly, people just want to be heard, and some people just, I deal with a lot of work. Some people just want to be heard. They just want to complain, almost just like a venting session. Other times people are just lost, right? They don't have the solution, or, you know, they're just kind of floating through life, and maybe they're looking for a little bit of challenge or to be pushed. I think if you get in the habit of like every day is like kind of Groundhog Day, nothing really changes. Sure, you might be going places and doing things, but as far as you challenging you, it doesn't happen that often. It doesn't happen that you step back, take a look in the mirror, and just think, can I be better? Can I be in a better position than I am? Am I being lazy? Am I fat? Am I not putting in the effort that I could be putting in because I just want to sleep? It was a long night with the kids. I don't feel like training this morning. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. I'll start next week. You know, all you know, New Year's resolutioners, I'm sure most of those fell off. So I'm trying to help people get better at sticking to the things they say they're going to do, or give them ideas, plant things in their heads to make them think, oh, maybe I am maybe I can do a little bit more. That's why sometimes I post my schedule online. Like I got up at 3:30 till 10 p.m. at night, all the things that I do on pretty much a daily basis. That happens weekly. I usually get up every day at 3:30, 4 o'clock. I do one workout in the morning. I work on the computer. I go to work. I come home. I sometimes do a second workout and hang out with the kids. I'll do a podcast. I'll do what that's a pretty normal day for me. I try to put a lot of irons in the fire, and I try to do shit I don't want to do every day. Then the top 4 things for me lately has been fasting. I hate fasting, but if I can do it every day, I can challenge myself every day to do something I don't want to do so I can be mentally stronger, right? No caffeine for 90 minutes. I would love to have some coffee. Actually, it's 5 o'clock. I can't have coffee. But usually I get up at 3:30. I can't have coffee because I'm usually at a training around 5, so I usually don't get it till 6. But I do a 90-minute delay on my coffee. There's a benefit to it to where you don't get that 2 or 3 p.m. sleepiness. So I've been doing that a lot lately. The cold plunges, obviously. I never want to just be like, yeah, I really want to get in 39-degree water. Never. And now I just be like, I could just skip that. That'd be great. But it's the mental barrier of just getting in that tub is another thing I can check off and another thing to make me feel better. And then what else am I doing? It's fasting, cold plunge, 90 minutes. Oh, then like these cardio classes with my wife. I never want to go do burpees or whatever the movements are for that day. And then, because there's no power lifters there. It's all just like, typically the majority is like 90% middle-aged women, and they're like kicking my ass. So it's kind of funny because it's just wild how in shape these women are. But I don't want to go there. I'd just rather go lift in my gym for an hour and then go to work. So now I do both. I do 3 to 4 cardio workouts, which I do not want to do, and then 3 to 4 training sessions in my gym, which I do want to do. But the whole purpose of like the mentorship is to, one, so I can solve people's problems, right? If I can help someone have like a cheat code because maybe I've been there before or I have some understanding. So a lot of people don't want to, admit to their friends and family about what's going to be going on in their head, or like what they're, have a hard time figuring out their why or their purpose. That's where I can step in, give you some guidance, give you some advice. And like I said, I like the reference of cheat codes. I can give you a little bit of a further step because maybe I've been where you've been and walked where you've walked, and some of the things I've had to go through with growing up and fast forward, as I call it, I've been able to have a lot of wisdom at a very young age. Even though I might not look as young as I might not look as young as I am. I definitely look older than I am. But I've gained a lot of wisdom with things and events that have happened in my life, and I share and get into some of those things with the mentorship. So I'm just excited to bring that to all you guys because it's an outside of the gym thing that I really want to help guys get into. Like I said, I'm helping a girl as well. A lot of her stuff's just pushing her boundaries, her limits, putting new ideas in her head about her company, putting in new ideas about mental hardening, just the things that I do on a day-to-day basis, and challenging you is what I'm going to be here for, and then listening as well. So I'm not going to say I'm like a therapist, right? I'm not that qualified, obviously, but I think I have a really good perspective, and I'm really good at solving problems and pushing people. And if you're not the type of person who wants to be pushed, this might not be for you, because some people make it uncomfortable. They might get uncomfortable with me pushing them, and then there's a lot of resistance. So if you're interested in doing this, be open to some change, be open to doing some different stuff, because if you do the same things you do every day, you're going to be the same person the next day. Nothing's ever going to change. And if you're fine with that and you're in your structure and everything's good, then leave it alone. Then you're fine, There is a saying, if it's not broke, don't fix it, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's right. If something works, it still could be a little broken. So just keep that in mind. If you are interested, it's going to be open up in the next few weeks. I'm getting a pretty good grasp on how I kind of want to do it. I've found voice memos work really well because phone calls are hard to schedule because I got a guy on the East Coast doing it. I got a friend that stays up till like 1 a.m, and then she gets up at like 7 or 8. So like schedule all over the place. So we do a lot of voice memos going back and forth, a lot of check-ins. So it's very hands-on, very communicative rather. And so far, it's been a pretty smooth process, and it's really helping the people think more, get outside the box, and be a little challenged. And one thing that we're going to do is, what I like to help people do is perform without purpose. So we get stuck in these goals, right? Goals are fine, but sometimes when we have these goals, we don't appreciate the process in the goal, right? So if I'm training for a powerlifting meet, if I don't enjoy my training for 12 weeks, why would I enjoy that one day? Maybe I would, but then it's after, and then it's after that, the Saturday's over. That's it. You have to enjoy the process you're on when you have a goal, right? That's very important. If you're not enjoying your 12 weeks of training, then I think maybe we should pick a different sport. I have so much fun training with my friends. And when I get to the meet, whatever happens, happens. Not that I'm not going to try my hardest, but I had a great time getting ready for this. I'm going to have a great time after the meet. Hopefully everything goes well in the meet. But when the meet's over and there is no specific goal, event, show, how can you perform without purpose? You need to be able to get up in the morning and get to work. You need to be ready for whatever comes at you rather than getting ready for one specific event. Now, I'm all for getting ready for one specific event. Don't get me wrong. But when that event's over, I see a lot of people fall off, right? They all of a sudden they're not training for months. And then mentally, right? It's not well, because mentally, even just working out, it helps relieve a lot of issues, stress, anxiety, and then all that stuff kind of comes creeping back because they don't have that goal, and they have to get the next powerlifting goal or the next bodybuilding show or the next X, Y, and Z, the next marathon, whatever. So the goal would be to perform without purpose, so that when anything happens, Tom's ready. When anything happens, you're ready. That should be the goal when you're not super sport specific. And I want to help people do that as well. I have friends, like I said, that have the goal and then they fall off for 2 or 3 months because the goal's over until the new goal starts. So it's not super healthy. Then you have weight swings too. Somebody will be, get into a show ready or powerlifting meet or a running event or triathlon, whatever. They'll get, drop 30 pounds, get lean. They stop doing it, throw the weight right back on. So it's a really kind of yo-yo effect. So performing without purpose is huge for me lately because right now I'm not training for anything. I don't have a powerlifting meet on the horizon. This year I already did one. And then it's kind of like, well, even after I got off mine, it's like I'm just floating around. Like, what am I going to do? And then I'm like, I'm going to do shit I don't want to do to make myself better. So that's obviously I've already listed are the things I've been doing since that meeting the end of February. So yeah, performing without purpose. It's hard to do. Some people do it really well because it's their habits and their rituals, right? Some people thrive or rely rather on motivation too much. You guys got to think of motivation, and I've said this before, you have to think of motivation as a match, right? You got that spark, you're fired up, you watch a video, you listen to a podcast, you're fired up. That's awesome. But motivation is kind of bullshit because guess what? That match, it's only going to last so long, right? You need to be able to take that match and put it in a big-ass fucking candle and let that candle burn. And that's your dedication. That's your performing without purpose. Motivation's fine, right? I like to get motivated. I watch some Goggins videos before I do these cardio classes. I get inside my own head. I go to fucking dark places when I'm there because in my head, if I don't go there, I will not be able to complete the workouts or not be able to push myself for the allotted time. So I have to go to fucking dark places. So sometimes listening to Goggins helps me. But that motivation, you have to use it. You have to use that match to light something else that is longer lasting and is more of a dedicated principle or habit rather than just, oh, I feel really good, so I'm going to go train today and everything's going to be fine. You need to form that into something that is longer lasting because once that motivation dies, once that little match burns out, you're done. So that's what I want to help people do too is push that candle to be lit from your motivation, find some better purpose, make you take a look in the mirror, make you question yourself, maybe make you a little uncomfortable, right? I got asked the other day, who are you? And it threw me off for a second because I was like, who am I? Like, I felt like it was like that anger management where he's like saying like, who are you? And he says his name and his age. And I'm like, Tom, my dad. Like, and then I'm like, okay, like, what's my purpose, right? Who am I? What am I here for? And it goes back to what I've always said too is responsibility. If you could be responsible for yourself, then you could be responsible for your wife and then your kids and then your community, so and so. So I'm like, yeah, my why is now to help people. Obviously, do the whole family thing, be a better dad is, to me is standard, right? I'm always trying to improve that. And I think that's a forever lasting battle to be better at that stuff. But yeah, just no one's ever really asked me, like, what's your why in life? My why is not to be a lineman. It's a great job. I love it. That's not my why. My why is to help as many people as I can inside the gym and now outside the gym. I want to be able to speak to people. I want to be talking to schools. I want to be firing kids up. I want to put a different perspective on, a lot of people talked about like mental health and like stuff like that. I call it mental hardening, right? I can spin it a little bit for a little bit better perspective for probably the demographic that follows me, because there is, I think, a line where you cross it and there's too much softness and weakness. So I think I've found a pretty good mix of that, and I'm always working on it. So I think I could share that with people, because there is this whole wave of overcorrection. So there's a lot of softness in America in general. So I think there are still some things that can be taken from it, but not being weak and not being soft. Because I don't think that's good whether you're male or female. You should never be weak or soft. You should never be rolled over. So I think I found a pretty good balance of it, and I'm going to continue to work on that. And then I can continue to share it with you guys to help mentor you. I was going to call it life coaching, but for some reason that really bothers me. So it's a mentorship just to help people with their goals. So I'm going to get off my rant. If you guys are interested in it, look for it in the next few weeks. I'm excited to bring it to you guys. It's probably going to be a limited amount of clients. And I know I've said that with training, like only 3 spots left. I hate that. Like, it does bother me, but I'm not going to give someone 20% of me when they pay me. You will get 100% of me. So if 100 people want to sign up and I say I'm only taking 5, I have to take my 5, control what I can control, give them 100% of Tom, and then, maybe I work it in sections in 4 to 8 weeks or increment, whatever it is that I ends up doing going forward to help more people, because that's my goal. But there will be a limited amount of spots just because it is time consuming for me, and I don't want to half-ass it with anybody. I want people to get 100% of Tom. So look forward to that. Thank you guys for listening. Be Better, episode 22. I'm out. I got to go to work. See ya.